Guess on news of Trump meeting with President Xi of China. We got quite the pop, and we've sold off that pop ever since. So I'm just getting everything set up here. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Hey Zalos, good morning. Metal Rattel, Boss Cross, Kyle Lager, good morning everybody. I've taken one trade so far, and it was a textbook short. We'll go over that in 1 second here. All right. I don't trust any longs right now, guys. Even though we did hit monthly and weekly VWAP right there. Might get a little bounce here. I don't know. The daily chart looks bearish. At this point, it looks like a top. So we can see a lot more downside today. I'm going to be careful. I've had a good week. Don't want to ruin it. I'd rather be patient and not take a trade and not lose money than force trades, lose money, and ruin my week, right? So, you know, let's take it easy. Let's wait for good setups. I'm not buying a sell-off. Not yet, anyway. Do we get some type of confirmation? This is kind of a bounce so far right here off of the weekly and monthly VWAP, but we are very heavy, so I wouldn't expect anything but reactions at these levels. I like 55 for a quick scalp long if we get there. Between 53 and 55. It's going to be right around this zone right here. So we will wait. Welcome to everybody on YouTube. We got a full house in the Discord this morning. We have a couple new members. Welcome to the group. If you have any questions, use the chat in the live stream. All right, that's different than main chat. There's a little text bubble next to the live stream that you can chat and find us chatting for this live stream. For those of you on Discord, I do try, for those of you on YouTube, I do try and keep an eye on that chat, but it is not a priority for me. I definitely focus on the Discord chat. So let's pop over to the 1 minute, and I'm going to show you that my trade this morning. I took short right there. Price discovery continuation short to the tick on ES off of lower band with yesterday's IB low as confluence. It was a beautiful trade, and it put me up $1,000 in my instant funded account on Top Step 1 in one trade. It was awesome. Now, I did take a couple of minis on it, but it was high conviction. Selling off, back test lower band, IB low from yesterday, and it played off, man, to the tick. I took profits down here at the break of the low on the session. So it was a beautiful trade. And now let's see what else we get. You know, kind of failed breakdowns have been the theme. Looks like we are building a little structure here. See if we get a little rally off the VWAP here. So far, so good. Nice. Took just a little scalp in my cash account there for 150 bucks. All right, we are back at lower band, guys. Let's see how we react here. Do we get the return to value trade? Now, the problem with the return to value trade here is that it kind of coincides with this low volume node. So if we do break and hold, we could get a nice return to value. A little tough to manage your risk here. We can go all the way back to 65 easily. It's a 20 tick stop loss. Whereas the upside is not all that exciting, to be honest, in this downtrend. So I'm going to pass on that return to value trade. If we do fully return to value, we'll see what we get. If anything, we have a price discovery continuation short. Look at that. Yep. So far rejecting. The problem on NQ return to value is the same thing, Chuck. It's the volume profile is lining up with a low volume. Let's see here. Let's get rid of that. All right, we're at the low volume node. So you might have caught 15 points there. Hope you took your profits. I think you're a little late on the S long here. If we hold point of control here, could be interesting. But right now, it's still a price discovery short. We want to see some acceptance back into value, not just a peek through and reject. Excuse me. Yep. So far, it looks like a rejection, doesn't it? I'm very wary of longs today. This price action, I'm worried about one of those days where we just controlled, we opened and we sold off right at the open. Sometimes that's indicative of a trend day to the downside, where pretty much the high of day is the open price. Now in this market, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Altered ego, the VWAP you're looking at up here in the top right, this is the session VWAP. Opens to futures open at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We often will anchor a 9:30 open VWAP as well. All right, so we're back at point of control here. So I already locked myself at a top one, hit my profit target. I'm at $7,000 in profits in this top one instant funded account. Excuse me. Another $2,000 in profits, I'll be able to take a payout on this one for 3,500 bucks. So that'll be nice. And then I got my top step, my new XFAs in top step here.
The confirmation now from the Chinese embassy in the US as China Xi held a phone call with Trump at the latter request. So again, China Xi held a phone call with Trump at his request.
Gold is flat. Oil's up 1.5 points.
Keep in mind, we aren't yet to hear any details from this Xi and Trump call. Just waiting to see if we do.
Bitcoin is down.
Line or readout from this call.
Is it giving us another chance at a short entry here? Dangerous. Or is this the base of which we rally, or do we continue to range down here? Let's see. Very cautious of any longs quite yet.
Japanese trade chief negotiator Akazawa says there's no change in stance. We want a full US tariff reprieve.
So the 1 minute, looks like a base, but the 5 minute is not attractive at all for a long. Not yet, anyway. Have a little bit of a short here, point of control. Looking for the price discovery, continuation short setup. I have a stop right up here at this 71 mark. See if we get some more downside here. Well, I don't care what it looks like. You know, like what is our principles? We're at point of control. There's no bias yet in point of control. We are in a range. We're in the middle of a range currently. So until we break out of this range, there's no long or short, really. I'm just trading the range, one side to the other. So far, we have formed the biggest distribution of the session, of the regular trading hours. So as I see this, we are just like this right now. So until we break and hold one way or the other, there's really no bias either way. Tempting to put it at break even at this point. I don't want to get caught in a trap. So let's see if this works. We get scratched out, we get scratched out, whatever. Managing risk. Eh. Very slow down here. No conviction one way to the other. It does look kind of long at this point, Darian. I would agree with you there, but is that the trap? Now the sellers are stepping in. Now are we thinking short? You know, that's just us chasing price. It's going down right now, so it's going down. Well, it's going up right now. You know, like get so caught up into the short-term direction. Both trapped. Yeah, that tends to be what happens in a distribution. Choppy. Yeah, I think there's this is coin flip right here. Yep. We're in a congestion zone. Big players getting in and out. Now, this could be bullish or bearish. So, you know, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and wait. We don't have to trade. Don't have to take a trade. Look, if I'm the one who reminds you today, guys, you don't have to take a trade if there's no setup. You don't have to know what's going to happen right here. We can wait for a better setup.
In 10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour, we see the release of the weekly EIA natural gas storage change. The forecast is for a build of 113 BCF on the prior build of 101 BCF.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a long out of here. I got to see some acceptance, though. I'm not longing right into lower band, I'll tell you that much. Hey, JP, Sicily, yeah? Buongiorno. I've never been to Sicily. I've been to all over Italy, but never Sicily. Went to lower band to the tick. And I'm glad I took profits on my trade, my short. I got $100 out of that. Or 87 or whatever. I'm only trying to do 500 a day in these top step X. It's only a 50K combine. I got 4 of them. It's not a combine. It's a XFA. $500 a day is the goal. Slow and steady. I grabbed a little long there, guys. Just a little scalp. $100. Pretty much the break of lower band to this low volume node. Just little scalps. I don't trust anything here. As you can tell, this is a scalper's area. I trust nothing. This could be a bull trap. Sitting on a sailboat. JP is sitting on a sailboat. What the hell am I doing with my life? Right? I want to be like JP. All right, well, this is a nice bull move, guys. Do we take the VWAP bounce? NQ's already at VWAP and blasting through it. I'm going to put a limit order at 78.5. Maybe I can catch something.
Iran's president and the Saudi crown prince.
Either that or everybody's going to front run it.
It's both on the phone.
All right, do we go up the rest of the day now? Imagine. That's been the market we've been in. So, you know, this would be some acceptance back into value. We're at point of control in the session, actually.
In 5 minutes' time now, at the bottom of the hour, we'll see the release of the EIA natural gas change for the week. The forecast is a build of 113 BCF on the prior build of 101 BCF.
Those limit order worked out. That was nice. That added another $100. I'm up 300 now. So I put 2 limit orders in right at VWAP. They got filled, and then we, quick 8-tick rejection, just a little scalp. I'm not trying to look for a big short here, guys. This price action looks bullish now. Obviously, it's got some momentum behind it. So that's how I get steamrolled. I get greedy, and this is like the worst place to short. We're starting to flatten up, right? We don't have much of a downtrend. It was a short, hour long, not even half 45-minute sell off. So we'll see. NQ is well above VWAP too. This one? Yeah, that kind of showed the move, didn't it? It started at 1010. So far holding VWAP here, but I don't trust it. Don't trust it. It's still early. It's not even 10:30 yet. Lots of opportunity. I'll be right back. NQ is green. If we break and hold VWAP, guys, I might go long. Keep in mind, this is still a lower high.
Ten seconds. Build of 122 BCF, the build of 122 BCF, higher than the expected build of 130.
We have an initial balance.
Some weakness in natural gas there after the larger than expected storage build.
Nice. Nice little break scalp. Let's see if we get a back test and hold. It's got to hold 79. Otherwise, it's a VWAP trap. Here's 79. All right. So far, it looks like a rejection. Let's see if NQ holds. I might take a little bit of a short here, but I don't want to be chasing this thing.
We have posted out the weekly EIA natural gas storage report on the feed for those interested.
Nice. All right, I hit 500 bucks, guys, in the new XFAs.
Told the Saudi Crown Prince.
Boom. Hit short on that rejection. That was the VWAP trap. Pokes through, doesn't hold, and rejects hard. Carlitos, this is not a free indicator, unfortunately. This is a cumulative delta, and this is called the breakout trend scalping indicator by Zierman. Something I've another member in the group turned me on to. I really like it, actually. The guy who designed it is an ex-hedge fund trader. It's really smart, and I'm going to publish the theory behind this indicator. It works well with our system because it's all this is based on volume. So this is all volume-based indicators, and this is key levels and volume, on balance volume and key levels. So it's really cool. Okay, so I'm going to shut myself out of these. Just 500 bucks a day in these guys, 500 bucks a day. That's the plan. I have 4 of them, 4 XFAs. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. All right, that's it. So now I'll move to my cash account, which I'm up 150 bucks. And we'll trade this. We'll go from there. So done with my prop firms for today. Mission accomplished. I'd look out for lower here, guys. So this is value area high of the distribution and lower band. So this is a key level. ES and NQ are both at lower band here. Interestingly enough.
Chinese state media CCTV says the US should withdraw its measures against China. She says the US again should remove negative measures on China.
More Chinese news.
So CCTV with a readout say US and China should increase cooperation on the economy and trade. Again, US and China should increase cooperation on the economy and trade, as CCTV is releasing a readout of the Xi and Trump call now. Just waiting for more headlines to come through. Mexico's President Sheinbaum to talk steel tariffs with Landau on June the 11th. CCTV report as well the US and China should reduce misunderstandings.
It's quite a wick.
Xi tells Trump that China implemented the Geneva Agreement.
Oh shit. Again, some crazy volatility. Get back up the VWAP. Crazy. What is happening?
And Xinhua says China's Xi said that Trump is welcome to visit China again.
A little scared to take a trade here. Justly so.
China's President Xi says both sides should enhance exchanges. China's President Xi says the two sides should enhance exchanges in diplomatic, economic, trade, military, and law enforcement.
Big rotations, guys. Big candles. Yeah, you want to be careful out there. Back down to this low volume node. We've been kind of bouncing around between these two distributions here.
Chinese President Xi says it is important to dispel disruptions to the China-US relationship. And says that Xi and Trump agreed to start a new round of talks ASAP. Again, China's President Xi and Trump agreed to start a new round of talks ASAP.
What the fuck, dude?
The S&P 500 and the dollar here. So again, China's President Xi and Trump agreed to start a new round of talks ASAP. A consensus has been reached, both should abide by it, according to CCTV, citing China's President Xi. Again, China's President Xi says a consensus has been reached and both should abide by it.
This is dangerous stuff, guys. Random tape bombs just blowing this thing in every which direction. Carlos, there's news. There's a speaker right now, and they're talking about China trade relations. You should have a squawk box up so you guys know what's happening. If you guys are going to trade the market, you shouldn't be clueless as to the news that's happening right now. At no point should you be like, what's happening?
China's President Xi says the US should deal with Taiwan cautiously.
So there's a speaker right now, and they're talking about President Xi of China is talking about trade relations right now.
500 now in the green, up around 0.1%. As this is coming through, just worth keeping in mind that we are getting some press conference from Trump at around 11:30, 11:45-ish, as he greets Germany's Chancellor Merz at the White House. So we're expecting to hear comments from Trump regarding the China call around that time. China's President Xi says dialogue and cooperation is the only right choice for China and the US. China's President Xi says the US and China should avoid conflicts because of Taiwan.
Wonder if this is another failed breakdown and we get a nice big rally out of this. Who knows?
China's President Xi says the US should avoid a very small number of Taiwan independent separatists, dragging China and the US into dangerous situations of conflict and confrontation.
Not much here for us, guys. This is just nutso. This is very tough to trade. I know there's a lot of FOMO here because you see a lot of movement, but I'm telling you right now. You want to be very careful with this stuff.
The Trump on Truth Social saying he had a very good phone call with China's President Xi. Again, Trump on Truth Social now. So again, reading through this then, Trump says, I just concluded a very good phone call with Xi of China, discussing some of the intricacies of our recently agreed to trade deal. The call lasted approximately 1.5 hours and resulted in a very positive conclusion for both countries. There should be no longer any questions respecting the complexity of the rare earths products. Our respective teams will be meeting shortly at a location to be determined.
Nice, Tony.
We will be represented by the Secretary of Treasury, Betsen, and
Yeah, I paid $100 for the entire year on financial juice.
President Xi graciously invited the First Lady and himself to visit China, and I reciprocated as president of two great nations. This is something that we both look forward to doing. The conversation was focused almost entirely on trade. Nothing was discussed concerning Russia and Ukraine or Iran. We will inform the media as to scheduling and locations as soon as that is arranged. So just looking into some of the key points then. So we did know that their respective teams will be meeting shortly at a location.
Today, the day we go to 6,000 and above.
On Truth Social, he said will be represented by Secretary of Treasury
And hold.
Betsen, Commerce Secretary Lutnick, and USTR's Greer as well.
I'd say you can go long, but it's going to be very tough to manage risk. You can lose 20 points in the blink of an eye with this stuff going on. I don't know. It looks like everything's getting bought up. I don't know if you would want to short this, but I guess anything's possible. I bet we clear that high a day candle. Wow, dude. Craziness. Massive swings. 20-point swings in ES in just minutes. If we go back below VWAP, that'd be hilarious. Massive bull trap.
It's been 10 minutes time now. At the top of the hour, US Commerce Secretary Lutnick due to be testifying to the House panel. We have posted out the live video of yours, Secretary Lutnick is due to testify to the House panel. Again, it's at the top of the hour.
Guess you can try some longs off VWAP here. It seems to be holding. Tight stop loss. Cumulative delta is pretty bearish here though, still. That came out of nowhere, huh? And Q looks like it's above upper band and out of the distribution set. And Q looks completely different. And Q is holding upper band. And it's above the value area high on the trading session. Looks nice. That was a nice little move off of VWAP.
So in 5 minutes' time now, at the top of the hour, US Commerce Secretary Lutnick is due to be testifying to the House panel. We do have the live video on the feed for those interested.
Not a lot of buyers. I might just take this. Man, all those people that shorted there got stopped out so hard. All these shorts just woof, ripped against them in a minute. And Q is above the initial balance too. Nice long. Yeah. I agree. It's crazy, but the market's crazy. No rhyme or reason to a lot of what happens in these markets. We can try and justify it or explain it, but we don't really know. That all happened so fast. I think a lot of people were short down here, Darren, on ES. All the people that shorted this whole move down. Then we rejected VWAP again. Everything was looking good. And then that candle happened so fast. This one right here, 1041. That sucks. All right, to everybody on YouTube, thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to keep on trading in the Discord. If you'd like to join us in the Discord, there's a link to the free trial in the description of this video. Low latency trading feed plus the chat. Hope to see you guys there. If you're going to keep on trading, manage your risk, stay sharp. For those of you in the Discord, we're going to keep on trading.